and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV Midday News live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Chidinma Jaresen. Thanks for joining us. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday approved the staggered takeoff of 6 out of 14 public universities established in the twilight of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. The Minister of Education, Tahiru Mamman, who revealed this to State House correspondents, said the choice of the universities, 2 colleges of agriculture, education and medicine each, was strategic to the skills acquisition needs of the Tinubu-led administration. The Buhari administration approved the establishment of no fewer than 75 universities encompassing federal, state and private institutions within 7 years. Some of the universities established at the end of the administration are David Nweze Umahi Federal University of Medical Sciences, Uburu, Ebonyi State, Federal University of Transport, Dara, Katsina State, Shehu Shagari University of Education, Sokoto State, and Admiralty University, Ibusa, Delta State. However, Mamman said the federal government lacked the funds to kickstart all the institutions at once as they were capital intensive. He added that the Tinubu administration would be conservative in doling out approvals for establishing new universities. Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Wednesday emphasized the unity and maturity of the Nigerian Senate, even amidst disagreements. In the parliament, sometimes you disagree to agree, he said. But we will never get to the point of throwing chairs. The Senate is too mature, full of matured people, Akpabio told Senate House correspondents after closed-door talks with President Bola Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. Akpabio's visit comes barely 24 hours after the senator representing Borno State, Ali Ndume, stormed out of the chamber. Trouble began minutes after the commencement of the day's session on Tuesday when Ndume of the APC representing Borno South raised a point of order to draw the Senate President's attention to alleged procedural errors he committed. Ndume had referenced a motion on the need for reopening of the Niger border, which was moved by Senator Somalia Kawu of the NNPP, representing Kano South, which Akpabio allowed to be debated without first having the official title of the motion read as the normal procedure. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday approved the staggered 6 out of 14 public universities established in the twilight of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. The Buhari administration approved the establishment of no fewer than 75 universities encompassing federal, state and private institutions within 7 years. The Minister of Education, Tahiru Mamman, who revealed this to State House correspondents, said the choice of the universities are 2 colleges of agriculture, education and medicine. Each was strategic to the skill empowerment goals of the Tinubu-led administration. However, Mamman said the federal government lacked the funds and qualified staffing to kickstart all institutions at once as they are capital intensive. The Nigerian Senate has asked President Bola Tinubu to immediately declare a state of emergency on drug abuse in Nigeria so as to safeguard the future of the country. The resolution reached during plenary is sequel to a motion on the growing menace of illicit drug use and other mind-altering substances across Nigeria. Kikelamo Ukiri has this report.
The sponsor of the motion, Senator Babangida Hussein, had in his lead debate noted that Nigeria is presently facing a rise in drug abuse which has reached an unprecedented level, transforming from a mere transit route in the 1990s into a country filled with drugs abusers and drug traffickers all over its land space.
While a population of 30 to 35 million Nigerians spends approximately $15,000 and $30,000 annually on psychotropic drugs and alcoholic beverages, respectively. The Senate is also to note that according to a report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and the European Union on Drug Use in Nigeria, about 14.3 million Nigerians between the ages of 15 and 64 are drug abusers.
Several lawmakers who contributed during the debate expressed worries over the use of mood-altering or psychoactive, performance-enhancing drugs, dependence drugs, as well as abuse of prescription drugs.
We should, in my view, urge the President to lead the challenge. The President of the Federal Republic has to be urged to declare an emergency on this and to lead the national response to it. In every country where this has happened, and we are not alone, the Americans dealt with the opioid crisis. Anywhere you have this issue, the executive must take the lead.
That unfortunately, the words of most of our elites are also affected. Fortunately, we have a leadership of NDLE that is very, very determined. General Buba Marwa retired, was our governor in Borno State. And all of us here know his determination and capacity and the effort he has put in this NDLE that has turned it around and even given the institution an international recognition. But he is handicapped. He is handicapped. I discussed with him severally. And coincidentally, this is the time to help him. This is the time to get the committee that this Senate has created to sit down with the leadership of the NDLE to know what they need.
My distinguished colleagues, it's a serious matter. We need to really wake up from it's a sad commentary on the way things are doing in this country. Very, very sad commentary. A big nation that human capital now is number one in whatever you think. Any war, any country out in the whole world, any country, human capital is what is in the front burner, is what drives, good economy. And we have an abundant population, beautiful population, and we're allowing it to get destroyed through, intake of illicit drugs.
A lot has to be done by families if we have to bring this situation under control. And I think it's what Senator Dixon said, that we have reached a point of national emergency. We should convoke a national discourse on narcotics, and then at the end of it, we should come up to this chamber as legislators to formulate policies and possible legislations.
The Senate subsequently resolved to, among others, to employ the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Federal Ministry of Health, and other relevant government institutions to step up their efforts to curb the alarming consumption of Mkpuru Mmiri and Kukara, which were prevalent in the southern and northern parts of the country. The upper chamber also directed its committee on NAFDAC, drugs and narcotics to liaise with relevant federal government agencies to converge a national summit on the state of drug and narcotic abuse in the country. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
The Senate on Wednesday appointed Senator Oyelola Yisa Ashiru of the All Progressives Congress representing Kwara South as each new deputy leader of the Senate. The Senate also appointed Senator Mwebonyi Onyeka as the new deputy chief whip. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced the new appointment at plenary. Ashiru, who was hitherto the deputy chief whip of the Senate, was elevated to the position of deputy leader of the Senate, which became vacant following the appointment of Senator Dave Umahi as Minister of Works by President Bola Tinubu. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved human papillomavirus vaccines. Agency NPHCDA confirmed receipt of about 6 million doses for the rollout of the vaccination for girls aged 9 to 14 years on October 24, 2023. Global TV's health correspondent Fauzia Lukman completes this report.
The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, during a media briefing in Abuja, said Gardasil is a vaccine that protects against HPV and reiterated that the agency is committed to ensuring the safety, quality and efficacy of the Gardasil vaccine in Nigeria.
A common sexually transmitted infection that can cause cervical, vaginal, vulva, and other cancers. Gardasil is recommended for girls and boys ages 11 to 12 years, but it can be given as early as 9 years or as late as 26 years. The vaccine is given in 2 or 3 doses, depending on the age of the person receiving it.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Health Care Agency, NPHCDA, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, said the NPHCDA, in close collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and dedicated partners, has diligently executed a comprehensive plan to introduce the HPV vaccine.
The HPV vaccine has been scientifically proven to be safe and effective in preventing HPV infection and reducing the risk of cervical cancer. I am delighted to stand here with the DG of NAFDAC and partners and donors to share that this vaccine will be provided free of charge to all eligible girls.
HPV vaccine has been approved for the rollout of the vaccination by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration.
We have over 6 million doses of the HPV vaccine and essential supplies.
HPV is a common sexually transmitted infection that causes several types of cancer, including cervical cancer. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The Minister of Police Affairs, Ibrahim Gaidam, has applauded the United Kingdom government for their support and collaboration extended to Nigeria in various areas, including security, governance, and economic cooperation. The minister made this applause during a courtesy visit by the British High Commissioner and his team, led by the High Commissioner Richard Montgomery, to the headquarters of the ministry in Abuja. Gaidam stated that the United Kingdom has consistently been a champion of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Kikeloma Okere has this report.
The relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom has ties and share values of its dedication to ensuring the safety and security of the nation, adding that the visit is a testament to the importance of nations' effort in combating transnational crimes, terrorism, and other security challenges.
Consistently been a champion of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Your commitment to these principles serve as inspiration to many nations around the world, including Nigeria. We greatly appreciate the support and collaboration extended by the United Kingdom in various areas, including and not limited to security, governance, and economic cooperation.
Earlier, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria says both countries need to harness common knowledge in the system and strengthen their relationship, while expressing his respect for Nigerian police working at the community levels and frontline despite the difficulties circumstances.
Generally standing ready to work closely with this new administration. We see some big, bold reforms happening on the economy. We see some big and bold leadership for the region, not least through ECOWAS. And we see an experienced ministerial team in place with whom we feel we can work across a number of sectors and portfolios.
The visit of the British High Commissioner and his entourage is to underscore the need to deepen a relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom and the commitment to further strengthen the ties. Kikeloma Okere, Global Television News.
Minister of Police Affairs, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, has sought for a strong partnership with Canada to foster stronger ties and collaboration in various sectors, particularly in the area of security and law enforcement. Kikeloma Okere reports that he made the request during the courtesy visit by the Canadian Embassy in Nigeria, led by its High Commissioner James Christophe, to the headquarters of the Ministry of Police Affairs in Abuja.
The Minister of Police Affairs urged officers of both countries to seize the opportunity to forge a stronger and more fruitful partnership between Nigeria and Canada, adding that together they can create a safer, more prosperous world for the citizens. The minister noted that the meeting signifies the mutual desire of Nigeria and Canada to enhance cooperation and jointly address the challenges that affect the society.
Our collaboration will not only benefit our countries, but also contribute to the overall stability and security of the international community. The visit of His Excellency Christophe presents a unique opportunity for us to explore avenues for collaboration in areas such as intelligence sharing, capacity building, and joint operations. By leveraging our reservoir strengths and other challenges that transcend